Mark Monar here. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Eastern. There's a lot to talk about here in my central forecast area, starting Monday night through Tuesday, Wednesday, today, and Friday. Power outages just everywhere. Hundreds of thousands of people without power, 6 to 15 inches of heavy wet snow fell. A lot of that's melted away, thankfully. The strong April sun. However, we're heading into the weekend. You could see many of these areas crack 80 degrees. How sustainable is this weather pattern? Will this keep up, or are we seeing a big problem towards the middle to latter part of next week? Are we going to swing the other way, and are we going to see another East Coast storm? I'll break it all down for you here at Weather Eastern. If you're new to the channel, welcome, subscribe, hit the bell button so you're alerted. Question or comment down below. I love to read your questions or comments. And don't forget, there's timestamps down below if you wish to skip ahead. Let's get into it. All right, I'm going to start off with the upper air pattern here. This gives us a good idea of why we're seeing such weather extremes lately. So, yeah, we head into the weekend here. Look at this massive ridge developing. This is what's going to give you those 80-plus degree temperature readings that you're just going to love after you had that massive snowstorm in parts of New York and Pennsylvania. Are we going to slip back into that horrible weather pattern we were in? Well, this is why I wanted to show you this, because look at this. This is Thursday, April 28th, next week. Look at this trough starting to really develop here and almost resemble a little bit of a negative tilt here. You got to watch these this time of year, especially when you got this blocking up here in Greenland. We'll get into that NEO index. And I'll show you the common theme. This we head through the rest. There it is, April 30th, Saturday, April 30th. We just get one area of troughiness after another. And look at these energies as they break off. Yeah, you get some out west as well, but you know what? Out west you get more ridges than troughs. And across the east, look at this. This is by May 8th, Saturday, May 8th. You just continue to get this massive troughiness across the eastern part of the U.S. I just hate to be the bearer of bad news, but look at this. We just get another one developing here, and this gives you a really good idea. Just don't focus on one particular date, but this gives you a really good idea of just how robust the pattern is here. And look at how blocking the pattern is up here in Greenland. This is just going to keep these systems bottled up across the eastern part of the United States. And the common theme just continues into Friday, May 20th here. We get another one diving down across the Great Lakes here. And this just continues throughout the month of May. Confirm that for you here on the high resolution Euro. Let's just put that into motion. There is that massive ridge here across the eastern part of the country. So you see that. Now take a look what the Euro does later next week. Take a look at that. Massive boom here on the East Coast. This is what we have to watch. We have to watch out for these kind of patterns because they can lead to what we just saw back on April 19th in the Northeast. So let's get into the particulars. All right, so the high-resolution Euro, let's take a look at the surface map. So yeah, you head into Friday here. You're going to have this first batch of thunderstorms, but there's going to be a massive line of storms, which I'll show you momentarily in the Mesoscale models. You can kind of see it faintly here. It's hard to see because we're zoomed so far out, but it's not as great resolution. But as we head throughout the day, we're going to get an explosion of thunderstorms here, blizzard conditions back here in the Rockies, and another area here back across northwestern Ohio, southern Michigan. So as we head throughout the day on Saturday, we got all these clusters of thunderstorms, and then we got more severe weather to contend with here right across the Central Plains, snow continuing back here through parts of the Rockies, and we're going to have severe weather all the way up to Minnesota here. So as we head throughout the period, look at this. High pressure controlling the east, severe weather continuing to head east throughout the day on Saturday night here as we head through past midnight. Low pressure winding up across the plains, so those areas that saw thunderstorms will be turning over to snow here in the Dakotas. And we head throughout the day on Sunday, and look at that. You get severe weather kind of retreating here to the south, and I'll show you those on my surface maps coming up. And look at this. As we head throughout the day on Monday, that system continues east. Severe weather here across the south. So watch out the Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, parts of eastern Texas, and maybe even some frisky thunderstorms up here in parts of eastern Ohio, western Pennsylvania during the later on Monday and into Monday night here. So as we get throughout Tuesday, that pushes to the east. Watch the pattern here. Low pressure starts to wind up along the stalled frontal boundary as this trough sets up behind it, and watch the precipitation take over here. Yeah, you do get a surge of precipitation here into New England, so it's a weak low, but look at the rain and snow showers here, lake enhanced behind us. So if we get a bigger system that could develop here along the East Coast next week, this is Thursday, April 28th, we could be looking at a problem here across the Northeast. So if we get into the GFS, let's see what it holds. Make sure we have the latest here. So we're progressing throughout the day on Friday. So yeah, the GFS showing some strong thunderstorms really developing towards late afternoon, early evening out here in the plains. And we continue this, definitely looking like a big snowstorm in eastern Montana and Wyoming as we head throughout the day on late Saturday into Sunday. Look at that. There we go. So pretty similar here to the Euro. Strong thunderstorms across the southern plains here. And there's that trough setting up behind this low pressure system. Tuesday next week, cold front finally pushing through the northeast. And of course, kind of washing out here across the south. So there's the low pressure system forming along the east coast, a little bit further south than the Euro, as it always is, usually with the GFS. And then we get some sort of upper trough and low pressure system up here across the Great Lakes. So here it is. It's the same pattern here. Not really hinting at any explosive development, but this is something that I really want to keep my eyes on because it's a similar setup to what we just dealt with this past week. Definitely something we want to keep our eyes on here. All right, so severe weather here across the midsection of your Friday TGIF. Take a look at the enhanced risk here in parts of Nebraska, Kansas, down and through the panhandle of both Oklahoma and Texas. And if you take a look at the tornado risk, definitely looking there into the western part of Texas all the way through Kansas and another area into South Dakota there. Hail damage, definitely a big threat as well. Straight line winds, definitely looking damaging. Heading east for your Saturday, Minneapolis, most of the state of Minnesota, all the way down to Oklahoma City. All these areas in between Kansas City, Des Moines, Minneapolis, you're going to be looking at damaging wind, large hail threats here. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into the severe weather parameters here as well because we definitely want to talk about the severe weather. NAM 3 kilometer, here we go. So we head throughout early Friday here. So yeah, we're getting some thunderstorm development here across the plains. It's definitely this area, though, that we're going to watch. So watch this as I put this into motion. So we head throughout the day on Friday. Normally this time of day, you really don't see much development. There's the low pressure winding up 979 millibars north of Denver. But this is where you start to get some firing going on. Look at that. So there's going to be a couple lines here from South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, and then down later in the day. Look, there it is. There's that massive line developing here along the Central Plains. And this is where we're going to watch the possibility of tornadoes developing embedded within this main line, damaging straight line winds and hail. And look at that. Saturday morning, it fizzles out, but we'll have to watch further east during the day on Saturday. See, as we head throughout the day, that activity kind of pinwheels a little bit further to the north. So let's actually get up into the northern part of the Midwest here for your Saturday. So let's put that into motion. There's that first line. So let me back that up. There's South Dakota. You could be looking at some tornado problems up as far north as up into South Dakota as well. And then look at that. We get into Minnesota for Saturday. This is where things could really get interesting, right along the low and just south of it. See these lines of thunderstorms that develop. Definitely want to watch this. A main squall line will probably develop with a damaging straight line wind event as well. So if we take a look at CAPE, the convective available potential energy, say we head out through Friday here, take a look how far north it comes. I wanted to show you into South Dakota here. So we back that up just a little bit. We get a surge up here, just enough here into parts of, South Dakota. We start to get into these values that are closer to, 1,000, 1,500. This is enough to get some tornadoes here. And definitely looking up into parts of Minnesota during the day on Saturday. Look at this. We start to get CAPE values in excess of 1,000 to 1,500 joules per kilogram here. Look at that. So definitely want to watch. This could be interesting. And, I wanted to look at the significant tornado parameter as well while we're in this region. So as we head throughout the day on Friday, watch how far this heads north here. Look at that. So, yeah, when you get to these values, 3.5, 4, this is into Nebraska. This is late afternoon, early evening. Look at that. That heads into South Dakota just before midnight here. So this is Friday night. So, yeah, things are going to start to really heat up here, especially across Nebraska as we head throughout the day. And we head through, let's take a look at Minnesota. You see a little bit of a threat, but 1.5, that's a little bit of a threat, slight to moderate threat, but not too bad here. Let's head south into the plains, and I'll show you. Let's start off with that significant tornado parameter. So we head into the day Friday. Take a look at this. So yeah, you got some, wow, yeah, things are really going to start heating up to panhandle of Texas here, Oklahoma as well, into western Kansas and Nebraska. Look at this. You get into these values, 4, 4.5, even 5.0 here, into right around the Colorado Kansas border. This is just before midnight Friday. So some of these will be nocturnal tornadoes as well. So watch out for that. And if we take a look at the surface base cape here as well, look at this. So we get a big surge throughout the day Friday. Take a look at this. Yeah, 4,000 joules per kilogram. That is more than enough to get yourself an explosive line of massive thunderstorms here. Look at that. That heads well into Nebraska. This is heading right before midnight. So there's going to be some problems out here in the plains. Here's your Sunday on the Euro. Look at that. Temperatures warming well into the 70s and near 80 from the I-81 corridor in Pennsylvania and New York westward. We're still holding on to the marine layer here in parts of New York City, Atlantic City, Albany, northeastward here into New England, but temperatures will be soaring. And if we get into, let's actually take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer throughout Friday and the rest of your weekend here. So if we take a look at the precipitation, and so we head into Friday here, we'll see some showers across the North Country early Friday morning, but for the most part, look at that. That's a pretty decent day on Friday here. We get Cleveland. During the day on Friday, late afternoon, you'll start to see some low clouds developing over the lake here. That's a band of showers, and that should drop in just right after sunset and before midnight. So it should be over with by midnight, and then you'll get a resurgence here, some embedded thunderstorms throughout the night. So you'll probably wake up on Saturday morning here to some wet roads here across western Pennsylvania, northeastern Ohio with this warm front that's pushing in, and that throughout the day as we head towards noon. Take a look at that. Some showers and thunderstorms around the Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse areas, and that propagates towards the southeast. This is later in the afternoon. We might get some showers and embedded thunderstorms near the Binghamton area. You know, this is towards sunset here, so, and that fizzles out here across the southern Catskills as the warm front continues to move towards the northeast. All right, in the Media Mark Weather Studio here, take a look. A tree crashing outside the back door here. I'm back on Tuesday, April 19th, just after the peak of the storm, and the silver maples just taking a beating here. Just take a look at that. Just snapping off just all the weight of this 10 inches of snow, heavy, wet snow. And Joe Drehos from the Johnson City, New York area taking photos after the snow has melted away on the pavement. A lot of the snow has melted thanks to the April sun. But I can attest to this, you definitely did not want to be taking pictures out during the height of the storm when it was occurring because of a lot of falling trees, power lines coming down, tree limbs coming down. There was trees falling on cars, power lines falling on cars and catching cars on fire. It just wasn't a very good scenario. So nice captures here. Joe from the Johnson City, New York area on Tuesday, April 19th. Look at it, just shows the power of this heavy wet snow just snapping off. Just about every tree had damage across the area. Johnson City, New York, just west of the, ever so slightly west of the Binghamton area. Nice captures. All right, TGIF across the northeast. It will be a nice day. 61 in Binghamton with the power restoration efforts after that massive amount of heavy wet snow. 62 in Albany. 70 in New York Central Park. Get out there and enjoy it. 73 in Atlantic City. That's nice. Double sevens, lucky double sevens there in D.C. And look at that, 70 degrees in Pittsburgh, 62 in Cleveland. So not looking bad, but there is a pool of cold air behind this here. 54 in Syracuse and Toronto. Barely getting to 60 here in Erie and 57 in Buffalo. This is kind of the lake influence here this time of year. The lakes are still cold from the winter time. There is a warm front pushing in from the southwest on Saturday. Look at this. So yeah, we start to get hints of that massive 80-degree surge here. And look at that, 62 in Binghamton, but then you got 71 in Erie, 81 in both Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Get out there and enjoy a nice day. 66 in Harrisburg. So it's on the way here. You can see we're holding on to 50s and 60s here into parts of New England. We might have a late day shower here, right just north of the warm front. You always got to watch these warm fronts because they can spark off a few showers here. It's not going to be an all-day event, so get out there and enjoy for your Sunday. Warm front pushing here across the northeast. 81 in Binghamton, 83 in State College, 85 in Harrisburg. Yeah, you got maybe some residual showers from whatever's left of the energy of that warm front pushing to the northeast here. So we might have a few showers up here into New England, and then maybe some more showers here just west of Cleveland. But for the most part, we're going to eke out a very nice, warm, sunny, dry day here across the Northeast. So 80s. You'll be holding on to a marine layer, though, along the coastline here. Look at 71 in Atlantic City, and then you go inland. It's 88 in D.C., 69 in New York City, and then you go inland, 79 in Scranton. So, yeah, the marine influence is definitely here. It's affecting Albany just a little tad, too, and definitely up in here into New England. Monday is an interesting day because we push a warm front to the east. This is the main system from the Midwest that was producing all that severe weather. We might have a strong cell or thunderstorm or a damaging straight line wind line here. It's not going to be a massive event, but from western Pennsylvania, eastern Ohio, West Virginia here, definitely watch out for it, especially after 5 or 6 p.m. And then we hold on to a pretty nice day across Binghamton, Harrisburg here, Scranton, Albany. These will arrive after sunset or close to sunset for you as high pressure retreats to the east. Still holding on to a marine layer, though. Look at this. We're well into the 70s inland, but in New York City, 64, 67 in Atlantic City. Only 55 here in Boston and 50 in Portland. All right, your forecast for the southeast for your TGIF. It is definitely a nice TGIF. Look at that. High pressure in control here across the southeast. And you're definitely looking pretty good all the way to Dallas as well. A little bit to the west here, you will have some showers and thunderstorms. But look at that. The firecracker area is 91 in Tampa, 84 in Raleigh, 88 in Dallas, 85 in Atlanta. Warm front on the move to the east. High pressure retreating. We might have some lake sea breezes. Sea breezes here along the Florida coastline here, which could lead to some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. But then, you know, it pretty much gets really nice here across the interior parts of the southeast. 83 in Atlanta, 85 in Birmingham, 82 in New Orleans, and look at that, Dallas. We have some severe thunderstorms just to your west Saturday. They could get into the Dallas-Fort Worth area well after sunset. So watch out for that. Some nocturnal thunderstorms, which could produce the potential for tornadoes. So we head into Sunday. It's having a real hard time heading east, if you notice here. This is more indicative of more of like a retreating Bermuda high here. This is a really strong high, and it's keeping these storms to the west. We have strong thunderstorms in Dallas, Fort Worth, all the way up to Missouri here. And that progresses very slow to the east here because look at high pressure retreating, 84 in Atlanta, 93 in Tampa. That's the warm spot. And watch this. Monday, we warm up to 95 with some offshore winds here. High pressure's trying to retreat to the east. Strong thunderstorms in Nashville, just east of Dallas. Look at that. You're cooling way down in Dallas. Warming up here in Houston, 86. Strong thunderstorms. Double 8s there in Atlanta, 89 in Raleigh. And look at that. Firecracker weather there in Roanoke, 89 degrees. Extended outlook for my hometown viewers. Binghamton to Scranton's upper Susquehanna region of upstate New York and northeast Pennsylvania, Friday through Tuesday. And all points along the upper Susquehanna River. Look at that. Sunny and TGIF, 61 degrees on Friday into Saturday. Sun and clouds, looking good, 62. And look at this. This is where things get interesting. Sunday, sunny and into the low 80s. You will crack 80 degrees around the Binghamton to Scranton area after a nice cool start in the mid-40s into Monday. Look at that. Chance of showers later in the day. We'll head up into the high 70s in some areas. And then Tuesday, yep, we start the cool down, but it's going to get worse after that. We'll dip below 60 for a high with showers by mid to late day. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Eastern. Don't forget to like me on Facebook at Media Mark. You can follow my weather posts and whatnot outside these videos. Also, Weather Eastern. Also, you can visit me on Twitter at Weather Eastern, MediaMark.com, WeatherNortheastern.com. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell button, question or comment down below, and smash that like button. Thanks for watching.